Now, I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time and energy trying to figure out what's happening in the world around me. And lately, I've discovered something. And that something is that the world is a lot easier to understand if I can look at the incentive structure behind everything that's happening. Now, what do I mean by the incentive structure? Well, an example, I guess, is we go shopping every day for groceries and stuff like that. And the supermarkets put on specials. And you know, some of the specials you think, yes, that's really, really cheap. How do they make a profit out of selling stuff so cheap when they're on special? Well, to answer that question, and if you consider what the incentive structure is, well, the incentive from the supermarket's point of view is to get as many people in to the supermarket as they can. And what's the incentive in doing this? Well, obviously to sell as much of their goods to you as possible, right? When they get you in, they can start selling stuff to you and you start to pick up stuff that you didn't even know that you wanted. So when you come in just for the specials, you walk out with the specials and everything else. You spend more money on everything else than these specials. So if you understand the incentive structure, you will know that these specials are what they call a loss maker. They actually lose money on these specials, but they make it up with the other things. So if you understand the incentive structure, then everything starts to make sense. Now, I'm a roofer, and you may ask, what's my incentive structure? Well, I'm not going to tell you. You've got to figure that out for yourself, right? And as far as the roofing game goes, there are lots and lots of different incentive structures. But basically, we are the small fish in a big pond, and we work under the incentive structures of much larger companies. So I'm going to talk about Skylights in this video. Now, the funny thing about Skylights is that I get a lot of requests from homeowners who go, I don't want the skylight, can you get rid of it? And it ranges from that extreme to another extreme that says, I've got a skylight, it's not really suitable, I really want to block the light out. And I see a lot of people do their own retrofits. They've got a skylight and they do a makeshift blind to block out the heat and to block out the light. And I'm thinking to myself, why do you want a skylight when you want to block out the heat and you want to block out the light? Just why don't you have no skylight? So to work out the different incentive structures at play, we have to understand what a skylight is meant to do. Now, the biggest skylight company in the world would be a company called Velux. And now most of you would have heard of Velux. And Velux was formed many, many decades ago by a Danish guy who wanted something in the attic to V, which is vent, open, which is ventilation, and lux, lux is light. So he wanted something in an attic to ventilate the attic and also bring in light. So he invented the skylight, the Velux skylight. And Velux has come a long, long way since then. It's a major billion-dollar company. Now, Velux Skylight looks at the Asia-Pacific zone, Australia, New Zealand, and we are one of the markets who have embraced the concept of putting skylights in on roofs. And it's a market that they have put a lot of design effort into. So we've got skylights that are produced by Velux for Australian conditions that suit the bushfire regulations, for instance, and a lot of the local Australian standards. So they've produced skylights specifically to suit the Asia-Pacific area and specifically the Australian conditions. So in Australia, the Velux skylight has been pushed as being the ultimate if you want a skylight. So what does this push for skylights really mean? Well, it means that if Velux sells more skylights, they make more money, and that is their incentive structure. Now, a skylight goes either in as a renovation or it goes in on a new build. So what happens if you put a skylight on a new build? Well, the price of the new build goes up because of the skylight. So the builder gets a margin on the price increase. So if you put skylights into a new building, then the builder makes more money. So that's the builder's incentive structure. And likewise in a renovation, the builder in a renovation has an incentive to maximize the value of the project. So if there are limitations and either the extension or renovation is in an attic, for instance, where there's no windows and no natural light, or it's another renovation where he can't put windows in, then he offers the skylight. So that's the incentive structure there. More money for the builder, more money for Velux. And from a roofer's point of view, we get to put skylights in. That's a good incentive for us because it is more business for us. From a repair point of view, we repair a lot of leaking skylights, and a lot of them are Velux skylights. So there's an incentive here for us to push the installation of the Velux skylights because we get more work out of it. And now back to new builds or even in renovations. If an architect is involved, he can look at the Velux brochures and he can market the Velux skylight as part of his architectural design. Velux is very, very good in marketing, and they show skylight installations on typical homes with lots of light coming through. But if you look at most of these pictures closely, what do you get with the skylights? You get blinds. And that's where I start to think, hang on, I'm missing something here. You put a skylight in so that you can let in heat, you can let in light, maybe you can ventilate it, and then you have blinds. And what are the blinds supposed to do? Well, they block out the heat and they block out the light. So you put the blinds on, you got no heat, you got no light, it's like you got no skylight. So Velux is selling you a skylight, and they are saying, they tap you on the shoulder and go, listen, you can get blinds with that. And what are the blinds for? Well, the blinds are to enable you to have a skylight without a skylight. Now, what's the purpose of that? Well, back to incentive structures, right? A company like Velux has been around for a long time. They market and they sell, and they get feedback. And the feedback has been that these skylights get too hot, they let in too much light when you don't want it to, and people want to block out the heat and block out the light. And here's an example of another case where a homeowner said, listen, I want to put a Velux skylight in the bathroom, but the problem is that I don't want people looking in, because if there's anyone on the roof or there's a house that is neighboring and above me, they can see through the skylight into the bathroom. So what am I going to do? Well, you need a blind. So Velux goes, hey, I've got a solution for you. We got integrated blinds that we can put on the inside of the Velux skylight so that you can block everything out. You pull the blinds down, you got no skylight anymore. And they sell it to you as a smart option. Well, I would think that the smart option is not to put any skylights in. So for Velux, what's the incentive structure here? Well, they sell a skylight and they sell a blind. In fact, most of the Velux skylights come with provisions for you to put blinds in. So most of the skylights say that you can put a skylight in, and if you want, you can put a blind in afterwards, right? And when you look at the costs of the skylight and the blinds actually cost more than the skylight. Now that's quite incredible. Velux can double the volume of their sales by selling a skylight and then selling you a set of blinds. They make more money out of selling you the set of blinds than the skylight. So it seems like Velux is in the blind business, not in the skylight business. In fact, a Velux skylight rep came and saw me a while ago and dropped the brochure in. And he said, listen, we are selling a lot of the FCM skylights. Now the FCM skylight is a more robust version of the original Velux skylight, and it's what they call, it's a curb mounted skylight that you can install on roofs that are pitch or flat. And because we Australians like flat roofs, the demand for the FCMs are actually going up. So Velux are selling a lot of FCMs for Australian conditions. And the rep said to me, he said, listen, if a client wants to put a skylight in and you are looking at putting an FCM in, make sure that you price the skylight together with provisions to put a blind in. And I asked him, I said, why? He said, well, with all the other versions of the Velux skylights, the provision to put blinds in are already integrated into the skylight. So you can put blinds in whenever you like. But with the FCM, you can't do that because of the way that these skylights are actually manufactured and installed. You need to have a separate frame to mount the blinds. So you get the skylight, and before you put the skylight in, you need to put in what they call this triple Z flashing. The flashing has to go in, and then the skylight goes over the top of that. And the idea of the flashing is that it has all little provisions for you to install a solar blind. So obviously the intent from Velux is that they want to sell the blind. So if you were to put one of these FCM skylights in, they recommend that you have provisions to put a blind in. So I would go to a homeowner and say, listen, in the future you'll want a blind. So this FCM skylight that we're going to do for you, we're going to price and include provisions for future installation of blinds. Now this additional flashing is going to cost you $100 odd to get from Velux. Will be a bit more because it's a little fiddly for the skylight installer to put together. And when you look at the whole thing, it's not a cheap solution to let in light and a bit of heat, but then during a large part of the skylight's life, you've got to use the blind to block the light and the heat. So this is where I think we've gone overboard with all these skylights. And as a roofer, I know that skylight can present a lot of problems in the installation phase and also in the maintenance phase for most homeowners. Now, even though it's against my incentive structure, my recommendation is to go and every time that you're considering a skylight, think, are there any other alternatives? What do I actually want to do? Do I just want to let in light? And if that's the case, then it doesn't need to be on the roof. It can be on the walls. Windows, they are the best way to let light in. And it's a lot easier to maintain on a wall, and blinds and curtains to windows aren't as expensive as blinds to a Velux skylight.